Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in with Learning with Jelly. So far in Module 2, we have been talking about data types in Python. We have been talking about integers, floats, and most recently, strings. And so today we are going to expand on the previous video to learn more string methods that you can use to help manipulate this data type. So, our agenda for today is we want to recall what a method is, and then we want to utilize the find and replace method. So, if this is the first video that you're watching and you don't know what a Python string is, no worries. A string is text data in Python that is surrounded by single or double quotes. And yes, if numbers are surrounded by quotes, they are considered strings. So let's recall what a method is. So everything in Python is an object. The variables we create, the packages we bring in, the models, the visuals, the data frame, all of those things are objects. And objects have certain methods, which we consider actions, and certain characteristics, which we consider property. So methods usually has a parentheses following it. So in the last lecture's example, we have the object basketball, and there are certain actions or transformations we can do to this basketball. We could do a dot bounce, a dot shoot. It has parentheses after it. It's a method. Whereas there's attributes as well. The color, which is dot orange, dot in underscore line, which is the number of lines on the basketball. So, what are the two methods we are going to discuss today? So, last time we discussed the dot upper, dot lower, and dot title methods. But now we're going to discuss the dot find method, and it's finding characters within a string. So, it's going to return the index of the first occurrence of that substring. And if it cannot find that substring, and what we mean by the substring, we can search for a single letter, we can search for a group of letters. So say for instance, I want to search for gmail.com. It is going to find the index where it first finds that occurrence, okay? And if it can't find it, it's going to return a -1. Okay, so it's always good to review documentation. So the documentation is linked here, and in the description below, you will have the link to the GitHub where you're able to download or clone down these notebooks and practice as well. And then you would have access to the documentation. So let's look. So in this case, I'm assigning the email of data7177 at example.com. And I want to call the dot find. So in this case, when I call the dot find, it tells me that the @ symbol is at the 8th position. And we know that we start counting at 0. So the D is 0, the first A is a 1, the T is 2, and so forth and so forth. So we found the @ symbol at the 8th position. Now, what if we want to find the letter A in the email above? So I'm just going to hit enter and scroll down. So in this case, we want to find the letter A. So we're going to do email.find, and we're going to pass in A. And notice that it says 1 because it found A for the first time at the first index. We also can find groups, which are called substrings. So I can look for .com, right? And in this case, the dot is found at the 16th position. So outside of dot find, we have the dot replace method, and it's going to replace an old value with a new value. So say for instance, you want to replace all of the spaces with a hyphen. You can do so, okay? And that's going to be our dot replace. So let's see that. So in this case, we want to replace the ID underscore with a capital ID colon. And so we have department name equal to that, and we want to replace this with our capital ID with our colon. And it will return exactly what we were looking for. So this is great when we're trying to actually clean up data and replace certain values. You could do the dot replace. So in this case, the example that we're given here is replace data underscore with data. So I'm going to call the object, which is subject, dot the method, which is replace. The old value is the string data underscore. And the new value that I want is data. And when I do that, I get exactly what I wanted out, which is data science. So, in summary, everything in Python is an object. Each object has its own methods and attributes. The dot find is going to return the index of whatever you're trying to search. And the dot replace is going to help you clean up some of that data and replace something old with something new. So, thank you all for tuning in with Learning with Jelly. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to teaching you the next video, which is going to be part 3 on strings.